Congratulations once again, sports fans. You got the winning wager. I'm Stan the Man with the Winning Way plan to make you money here on Saturday, November 21st, 2025. All right, we're going to try to shorten this podcast down a bit, but this is part one of our traditional three-part podcast that we do on Saturday to cover college football action. Here in part one, the early games, part two, the mid-afternoon games, and in part three, we'll take a look at the evening games. All right, we're going to start with some big plays early. And the number one play of the day, or at least the number one play of the early games, involves the number one ranked team in the nation. That's the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're a 32.5-point favorite at home against the 5-5 Rutgers Scarlet Knights. We expect Ohio State to cover that 32.5, and we're going to expect Ohio State to stay on a roll, so we're going to call them Butter. The Ohio State Butter Buckeyes on a roll, and we expect for them to stay that way. All right, that's our number one play. Our number two play involves a team that's outside the top 25. It involves James Madison, which is a 13.5-point favorite at home against the Washington State Cougars. The Washington State is 5-5 on the year. James Madison 9-1. By the way, this game begins at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Madison is a 13.5-point favorite. We like Madison to cover that 13.5. All right, a game that can be seen at noon Eastern on ABC. It's Missouri at Oklahoma. Missouri is ranked number 22 in the nation at 7-3 on the year. Oklahoma is 8th ranked and coming off of that big win last week in Tuscaloosa against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Oklahoma is 8-2 on the year, and the Sooners are favored in this game by 6.5 points. But we like Missouri plus the points if you want to make this on a single play. We're going to put this in a teaser here momentarily. But if you take Missouri plus 6.5, be sure to buy it up to at least 7, okay? All right, a game that can be seen on ESPN at noon Eastern. Number 13 ranked Miami of Florida at 8-2 on the year, playing at Virginia Tech, which is obviously is unranked at 3-7. By the way, they just hired James Franklin, the ex-Penn State head coach, to be their next head coach of the Hokies. Okay, well, Miami of Florida is favored by 18.5. We like, in a single play, we like Miami of Florida, or as I like to say, the Canes to cover that 18.5. But we're going to put them in a teaser. What we're going to do is we're going to take Miami of Florida from minus 18.5 to minus 8.5. We're going to take Missouri at Oklahoma. Missouri to go from plus 6.5. We'll put them at 16.5. And we'll take the total of that Missouri-Oklahoma game from 42.5 up to 52.5 and go under. Okay, that's a 3-item 10-point teaser. We like that. All right, I'm Stan the Man saying thanks for being with us. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to join us for part two of Saturday's podcast for the Winning Wager.